Hello, human being, human, mortal, person, soul, Homo sapien, earthling, higher animal, living person. Welcome to part 2. In case you're inept, enjoy this greatest hits audio reel from part 1.
The artist we're discussing today is one of those legends.
Eat a peen, Wikipedia.
Hold on, don't light your blunt.
And you shit the bed royally.
No, I don't know it.
I thought Lil Wayne was here for a minute there. Young Jeezy, Drake,
Yes. Rick Ross.
Rick Ross again. Okay.
Oh, that's so bad. Shh. I'm sorry.
Drink it in. 8 Ball and MJG.
MJG standing for Michael Joseph Green.
Of course! Mick Jagger. Is that how it goes? Guys, check this out.
Just the really petty, jealous part of me.
Save me!
Hey, you don't have the auto-tune on. You can't sing.
Urethra.
And it's like if you took...
That song.
But I'm sorry, dude, if you're listening and you're like, I'm not a nobody.
And I salute Mr. Carter Jr. for that.
Oh, this downtown brown tastes so good in my mouth.
Sure.
We'd have to pause that all day.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
It's good.
My tongue go brrr, my dick go bop.
It just fills your heart with so much fulfillment.
Honey, hush.
Yeah, my problem with this song is that
ass unwiped? Of course not. I was too scared.
I don't know.
The music industry wrote 167,000 songs with reference to my life experiences.
Who that wanna do that, boy? You knew that.
What do you think of that comment?
I just...
Holy shit balls.
It was a strategy that couldn't have been better executed. A story that couldn't be better scripted.
I think we're going to butt heads on this.
No, I think it's bad.
Okay.
It's bad.
Okay.
Don't,
Bless you.
I'm trying to give something. Hold on, some white horse?
Heart?
White heart?
White lion?
White tiger?
White tiger.
No.
Glass
Glass
lion? Glass tiger. Shit.
Now you got loose bowels.
Oh, you know what I didn't do? I meant to get...
Don't spoil it. Absolutely pales.
I'm not hearing this.
It pales in comparison to good. All right. Scarface is overrated.
Burp.
I punch my nuts because of this song. And now, enjoy number 2. Oh, he must have been on one of those keyboards that didn't have like commas and periods and stuff. One Way Trip is our next song. This is featuring Kevin Rudolph, produced by Rudolph.
Hey there. If you want to listen to this clip, you're gonna have to go download the album. If you dare. It's pretty shitty. Hence the purpose of this podcast. Anyway, back to the show.
So,
Okay, sorry.
Cash Money
Yes.
is known for having just bad taste in rock music.
Okay.
So they signed, what's that band called? Rap Rock.
Limp
Limp
Bizkit?
Bizkit. So they signed Limp Bizkit like 10 years
They
after
come up
their...
a little later in my
10 years
comments.
after their prime, and it's like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah,
why? Kevin Rudolph, you know, bless him. It's not my thing.
No.
And so you get the feeling that they don't actually listen to rock music. And it's like, why are you making a rock album? Like, you know what I mean? It's a bit of tourism here for Wayne. And it's like, do you listen to rock music? Did you like the idea of making a rock album?
Okay.
Was it like, do you like the energy of
Sure.
rock music?
Sure.
You know, something like that. Like, because it doesn't sound like he has a real concrete taste. Grasp of it, or like a taste, like, I like rock music that sounds like this.
Sure.
And I want to make that album or something like that. So this song is another example of that, like super throwaway, super just like...
So I would argue that the time that it would take for Lil Wayne to make an album like this passable.
Yes.
So spending time learning an instrument or learning more about rock. If you really, I want to do this rock thing. I'm going to make a rock and roll album. I'm a hip hop guy. I've done something with the Carter 3 that will never be replicated, not only by me, but by anybody else. Yeah. Nobody else is going to do that again. I'm going to do this thing. He put it out so quickly that some time could have been spent really making sure. Surrounding yourself with the right people as well.
Yeah.
Like we went through the producer credits. Not a lot of rock and roll guys in there.
No.
So it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, he says T. Barker is my motherfucking drummer constantly in this track. I'm an enormous Travis Barker fan.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's not playing.
What?
I'm pretty sure it's not him
Really?
because I know Barker's his style,
Yeah.
his drumming style.
There's no way he's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
actually playing. Why
Yeah.
why? What's it for Travis Barker?
He's
to,
involved or he's producing or helping produce whatever. But if you listen to Travis Barker's playing style, that's not him. The song opens
because they even
with-
credit him drums.
Oh, I'm with-
Travis.
oh,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
with
not
you,
like
but
he doesn't
maybe-
just get like a
but maybe
producer
he
credit.
programmed them then because those opening snare hits.
Yeah.
the song opens with snare hits, right? Like
Yeah.
bop 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 bop, and they're so programmed sounding.
Okay.
if you really
Maybe-
listen to those
yeah,
snare
maybe
hits,
he
it
did.
sounds like some kind of easy drummer style program.
Okay.
So that's
weird,
That's my
though.
guess.
Yeah.
But show me like video footage of him recording this track, then okay,
Yeah.
I stand corrected. But I'm listening to this song going, that ain't Travis Barker playing drums.
Wow.
Barker's a freaking monster, dude. There's no monster drumming on this record.
Maybe there's no room for monster drumming on this record.
If there's gonna be, it's gonna be this one. It would be this
Yeah.
track.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
was like a fun sounding track. Like the
Yeah.
album needed this fun lyrics. Wayne's rapping, so if there's any singing to be
Oh,
done,
yeah.
have someone else do it.
Yeah.
So it seems like the hook is not a brutal chorus like in the context of this album.
Yeah.
but one of the better ones within this record.
Right. The one line, the Jordan flu line was awesome.
Yeah.
That was literally on the entire album, one line.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the thing where
I agree. I remember that line actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not, It's
right?
not my notes, but I do remember that Jordan flu line.
yeah, like that's a great line. So that's the only thing with this is
Every now and then.
yeah, but at the same
little spark in
time, we do this exercise, and sometimes we come off bigger fans and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And there's also that hope that we do so many different styles and genres. We hope that
yeah.
like you guys are listening to all the episodes, obviously, even if it's not your genre
Sure.
or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And we want to, spark an interest. I don't think we're doing the greatest job of that with this.
Not yet.
Okay.
This record is ass.
Yes.
So when we get to our point system, our recommendations,
Yeah.
neither of us are going to recommend this from Lil Wayne.
Absolutely.
So you have to bear with us through this because,
Because the man is great.
yeah.
He's
But we go
great.
through that with everything. I mean,
Yeah.
we went through, every record. We go like all of the albums. We go through Bruce Springsteen, who's got some great records.
Yeah.
And Human Touch is not one of them.
Yeah.
And Nostradamus is a horrendous Nos record, but that guy's
Yes.
right.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. So,
The, the Jordan flu line
Yeah, yeah.
just made me think like
he's in there still.
Yeah, like maybe
Yeah.
maybe I should have made like a montage of like the
Sure.
best moments
Sure.
of bars.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's what Wayne does.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway.
So we'll go to YouTube. Kelly Stone.
I'm so
6
simple.
months
I'm
ago.
literally laughing every
What
time.
am I going through now? I don't know. A pulsar. Did I know my roommate was home last night? No. So thank you all for I was naked in bed and my roommate woke me at whatever time, middle of the night, asking for a ride to his truck. Surprised me. I said, fuck. He says, what? It's very platonic here. I guess he didn't notice. Well, I was ill.
What?
Motherfucker, I'm ill.
Wow. Well done.
Thank you.
That was crazy relevant.
But that was a ridiculous.
What is that comment?
comment. I don't know.
Kelly Stone.
I don't know.
Kelly Stoned. Chris Roberts 9 years ago says, not racist, but open your damn ears. Some really good shit. Not sure how that's racist, but
Prime queen.
jeez. Dalton Doherty 7 years ago says, skipping Lil Wayne's part is like skipping in public. You would automatically be thought of as gay and people would want to hit you.
What? What?
I don't know, dude.
Oh,
You ready for the next song?
Yeah. What is it?
Knockout.
Oh.
Featuring Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
So, this was Colossal Shite.
Stop it.
This song was garbage.
No, it was not.
This song was dog shite. Ironically, it
it
sounds exactly
wasn't.
like a Blink progression, even though this is the song that Barker is not involved in. So after a break for a couple of tracks, we're back into the auto-tuning stuff. The lyrics are ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
Before I go into my Nicki thing,
Yeah.
because I'm going to... I'm gonna crush on her pretty hard.
I thought that this,
anything on this song?
Yeah, I thought this was could be possibly the best song on the album.
Yeah.
I love.
It's pretty bad. So that tells you something.
So I love the Justice League. I can see how this would have been a really fun project for them.
Sure. Oh, in the video, it looks like they're having a blast too. Did you watch the video?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, it looks like they're just having a blast.
Yeah, see, because they're a production team, 3 dudes, right? 3 dudes, yeah.
Yes.
And they're all like very proficient musicians.
Yes.
So I could see how this would have been like super fun for them to be like, make me a bunch of rock tracks.
You know
So
how
they
earlier
just-
though, when you were talking about like Disney rock,
Yeah.
and I felt like when you said Disney rock, that wasn't a compliment.
No, it wasn't a
So I'm gonna apply that here though, because I
Fair
think this
enough.
probably applies to that more than the track you applied it to. This is bubblegum dog shit.
Yeah. But I don't know. For what it is.
Can we slobber all over Nikki for a little bit?
Yeah, go nuts.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I've had a crush on her ever since her verse on Monster.
Yep, makes sense.
Her voice is just super sexy to
Her
me.
voice is,
Yeah.
especially that verse,
Oh
like
my
she goes through like
gosh.
3 or 4 different
And
permutations.
who's on that verse?
I know. We've discussed this before. It's ridiculous.
She destroys the men?
yeah,
Come
there's
on.
Rick Ross,
Jay-Z.
Hove, and
And Kanye.
Like, and they're
Gosh.
not doing.
No, their
poor-
verses are great.
Yeah.
No, their verses are great.
But no, that's not
Just it was like the planets aligned because she is so good on that.
Yeah.
Even on her Lonely Island verse.
I never heard.
Did you ever
it.
hear The Creep from Lonely Island? No. Dude, it's the best part of the song. Even for something like that. Like
I believe it.
She always sounds like she's having fun.
Yep.
Her verse on this is no exception.
Yeah.
Having said that, I've never actually listened to a Nicki Minaj song. I'm only familiar of her guest spots.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I couldn't even name a Nicki Minaj song.
Okay. So I'm not a big Nicki pop song fan, and that's not for me. So I don't think I'm
No, that's fine.
offending her with that.
Sure.
So yeah, no, I get that.
She's not going to listen to this, so. I actually...
Doesn't she have a podcast now though?
For real? I'm listening to this podcast?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because
Guy,
like
I'm looking
she
for this.
goes in on people, and it's funny because she's in the industry and she'll go in on
Interesting.
somebody.
She drops names?
Oh yeah,
Oh, ding dang, dude.
yeah. No, it's good. What was the last one? I can't remember, but she'll go in on somebody, and then it'll make news. Like it'll be on every show after that, and they'll be like, "Nikki went in on this person on her
can't
show."
wait.
And,
The most recent thing I saw of her was she was telling people she's going to be on the new Adele song or record,
okay.
and it's horseshit.
Oh, it's not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
Okay. She just put it out there to like
Yeah.
try to manifest it or something. Good for her.
Yeah.
But if you're Adele, aren't you like absolutely?
I guess she wasn't.
Oh, like it's done already though?
I think
And she's just
squashed.
straight up lying
Yeah.
and saying
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
on
yeah,
there
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
She could have done a verse and it just didn't make the record, maybe.
Or she's pathological. Maybe. So I did clip her verse. Do you want to play any of her verse? You don't have to play the whole thing, but if you want to
you
play,
didn't send
I
it
did.
to me?
Sure did. I did in the Lil Wayne clips. I gave you Eminem's verse. Actually, I gave you
What?
Nicki's verse, and I even labeled them Eminem's verse
No,
and
man.
labeled you Nicki's verse.
That did not happen.
Yep. And then I even gave you another drop.
What are you talking about?
That's going to be relevant to the next song that we're going to review. But
None of that is here.
okay, that's weird.
That is very strange.
Yep.
I apologize.
Because there's 12 songs on there, so the folder I would have sent you had like 15 clips in the folder.
Oh, I'm looking.
Oh, you deleted them because you're a jag.
That doesn't make any sense, man.
So if you're paying $100,000 for a
Yes.
verse from her, she always brings her A game, dude. Anyway, it should have been a 2.5-minute song. It ends up dragging on for over 4 minutes. The song is like, wow, that should have ended a while ago, and it doesn't.
Does that happen a lot on this album? I can't remember.
No, it's paced relatively well. I mean, it was a drag for me anyway. But do you want to hear any YouTube comments? You look like you're frantically looking for
M's verse. Look at
Nicki's.
that. I just straight up missed this stuff.
You missed it? Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You know
Yeah.
what?
I clipped M's verse and I clipped Nicki's verse on this.
Here's Nicki's verse.
You don't have to play the whole thing, but
Okay.
if you
Yeah,
wanna
no.
give people
I
a sample of
I
what
didn't
she
even know
does.
it was here. I'm sorry, Mikey. Yeah.
Maybe 1, 2, 3. So we actually didn't play M's verse, but
We can, but we're kind of past it. I'm sorry.
it's okay. We'll go to YouTube then. You got any more?
No, but were you going to tell me where to put this drop? Because
Which drop?
I don't know. You said you had a drop.
Oh,
You sent
yeah.
me a drop. Did you?
I do. It's for the next song.
Okay, cool.
Baby, 10 months ago says, when Lil Wayne brought rap and rock together, it was truly an iconic time.
Oh, he did that. Oh, that's right.
I thought Run DMC and Aerosmith
No,
did it.
no.
It was Lil
It was
Wayne.
here. It was in 2010 where that happened for the first time.
Let's drag Cardi 4 months ago says, this is the definition of versatility.
Thank you, Cardi.
Chill Fever 9 months ago says, I swear to God, Lil Wayne's peak years were some of the greatest years in music history. He is one of the most diverse musicians ever.
Come on, James.
Dude, you caught me. I was not ready for that.
Come on, James.
Poppy Blood. I don't think it's ever going to get old.
Never.
Oh, bless him. R.I.P. Lou. Angie, 5 years ago, says, I get so pissed off when I see that people like Nicki Minaj earns more money in 1 year than I will in my whole life. She couldn't even finish 1 year at university, and I have to struggle with it for 5 years? It's just not fair. She is a moron and has so much money just because she is a U.S. celebrity. I don't even care if my English is not so good. I'm not British or American.
We material girls, ain't nobody hotter.
Yeah, take that.
Guy, what is she on about? Angie,
For real.
step.
Angie, get lost.
This is the last song, dude.
No.
We done did it.
No.
This song is called The Price Is Wrong. So this is produced by DJ Infamous. Now she going with some N-word named Michael. That was in the song. He says okay a lot. Do you want to play the drop?
Yeah.
The price is wrong, bitch.
For you Happy Gilmore fans out there.
Oh, good job, Mikey.
Yeah.
Good job.
So in my notes I got nope.
Oh, that was awesome.
He says okay a lot. That's all I got. Oh! I'm a poet. I didn't even know I could rhyme words. You got any review notes for The Price Is Wrong?
The price is wrong, bitch.
So good.
So I'm gonna go to what you got? What you got?
Oh, my question was, does anybody listen to songs like this?
Like that aggressive sort of punk style? Because it's them trying and failing to do something like that. So,
Okay.
So no.
Okay.
But yeah.
And thanks for nothing, Mikey.
I hope I clarified that.
Yeah,
for you.
no, that was great. Thank you.
Scarface is overrated. I can't wait for this YouTube
you're
comment.
the worst.
Dude, check this out. I laughed through it. Wait up. Okay. JT, that one Drew guy 4 years ago. This is one of the worst songs I have ever heard in my life, and that includes tracks from Metallica and Lou Reed's album Lulu.
No!
What am I doing here,
No
fanboys
way!
are sure to ask. I'm at work letting a coworker hear this out of morbid curiosity, and his face is priceless. You believe that shit? Isn't that awesome?
That is so awesome.
Oh.
It deserves. See, this is why I'm
Oh,
gonna.
he's scrambling. He's trying for you, folks. See how much Sammy loves you?
Oh no!
Send Sammy some love.
We're just gonna have to deal with.
Fucking metal.
That works.
No.
Were you looking for a Lulu thing?
No, I was looking for Lars,
Oh.
the rebut.
Oh. When do I get a chance to rebut?
Yeah,
Does it say fucking rebut?
I can't find it.
All right. Treaty Cheese 7 years ago says best rock album ever, and he a hip hop artist.
Balls.
Bring Bruce back.
Well done. Supreme fuckery. 7 years ago says, Okay, for a black guy who actually plays guitar and writes music in a hardcore band, this is an insult to what I do. This shit is laughable.
When do I get a chance to fucking rebut?
Nice, man.
Yeah, no.
And finally,
Oh, yeah.
the last YouTube comment of the Lil Wayne episode. Darko Fire 7 years ago says, "The fuck?" And that
You gotta be
concludes,
high to do that shit.
that concludes our track-by-track review of Lil Wayne's Rebirth. Holy crap.
I'm high as hell.
Let's do our point system real quick.
All right, let's do it.
We got 12 tracks on here on the regular edition. There's a deluxe edition.
There's a deluxe
but
edition.
Neither song on the deluxe edition I retained. So let's just go with 12. Out of 12 points, what do you want to give it, Sammy?
I'm giving it a solid 3.
Wow, okay.
Yes. So, yes, 3. What are you giving it?
What do you got?
I'm giving it for Da Da Da. I'm giving it for was it On Fire? Yes, On Fire. Scarface is awesome. And
Too little, too late.
I guess Drop the World. Yeah. Drop
Okay.
The World. Yeah,
Okay.
3. Solid
Yeah.
3.
I'll probably give it a point and a half. Half a point for all the things you just said. And then like a bit for just the balls to do it.
Balls to do it.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
That's cool, man. So,
Yeah.
before we go into our closing thoughts on Lil Wayne,
Yes.
do you have some recommendations for Lil Wayne's? Are you gonna do the obvious one, or do you have some recommendations
I'll say
for Lil Wayne's discography, his catalog?
Yeah. So I'll put the Drought 3.
Yeah, so you guys are gonna have to hunt for that. It's not on Spotify or anything. So if you want to listen, all of his mixtapes are on there actually,
Yeah.
including the Drought 3. So
Yeah. So the Drought 3, Dedication 2 and 3. And yeah, Carter 3.
okay.
Well, how about you?
Cool. So, coming from a rock background and a guy who has very little relationship with Lil Wayne, and we had said earlier about how sometimes going through an artist's catalog for this episode or for this exercise can make you a bigger fan.
Yes.
That didn't happen with me.
Really?
By the end of Lil Wayne, I'd had enough. I was not into him.
Okay.
I didn't get into him at all. Wow. So, and we can get into this a little bit more, but you know, I listened to all the records. I listened to the mixtapes. I watched documentaries, not just the Carter one that you sent me, but other documentaries, interviews. I went deep.
Okay.
And I come
That's
out
fair.
I come out the other end just going nope. So what I'm going to say as a rock guy, if you're Team Mikey, there's Team Sammy,
There is?
and there's Team Mikey. Team Mikey is.
I don't think you want to go down this road,
Oh, you're gonna
my
lose.
friend.
You're gonna lose.
You don't want to.
You are gonna lose.
I can't believe you just opened that up.
So if you're Team Mikey and you're a rock guy, because there's got to be rock guys listening to
Team
this.
Sammy, stand
And
up.
if you want to listen to hip hop, don't listen to Lil Wayne.
That's the most ridiculous
If you
thing
want-
I've ever.
If you want to listen to hip hop,
Yeah.
I would.
And you're a rock guy. Sorry.
And you're a rock guy.
Got you.
So go to Godson. Go to the Blueprint. Go to
Why?
Go to any.
What does that have to do with being a rock guy?
Because that's good hip hop. Because I was a rock guy, and I was coming from a rock place. And when I was going through the Nas catalog,
Yeah.
I was enjoying myself.
Yeah.
And and I had heard Illmatic before,
Right.
before that Nas exercise, but I was going through there, and there was at least 3 records, maybe even 4 from the Nas catalog that I went back and wanted to listen to again.
Right.
I was done with Lil Wayne. By the end, I was like, I'm good. I don't need to listen. And I had to listen to Rebirth at least a couple times for this exercise.
Yeah.
But geez. So
But how much time did you spend with any of the other stuff? Like,
any of Lil Wayne stuff?
yeah. So for instance,
not much. And the reason was because I wasn't hearing anything that was like the guy. He ran out of euphemisms for pussy or vagina like a long time ago. But even up until I'm Not a Human Being Part 2 and the Carter 5's not that bad. But like it got old. I'm hoping, because even on the Carter 5, there are glimpses of mature material maybe being on their way. He has talked about retirement, but if he continues, I'm hoping that he starts growing up a little bit.
Okay.
Not that Nas or Jay-Z or any of these guys that are far superior to Lil Wayne, in my opinion, don't have songs every now and then that are about bitches and bling.
Yeah.
But by and large, they do not. They talk about real stuff.
Yeah.
And I also... To back this up, something happened to me the last couple of days anyway, and I ended up going down like other rabbit holes that weren't Lil Wayne.
Like?
Black Star.
Wow.
And Talib Kweli.
I'm so happy.
And I listened to Jay
Eternal.
Dilla. And so I'm listening to all this stuff going, okay, so Lil Wayne's not for me. It's going to be for people. And I appreciate you defending that. But Lil Wayne is a hack. He's
whoa,
he's
slow
a
down,
hack.
slow
Okay,
down,
no.
slow
So
down,
I'm not going to slow down because I watched the documentary.
Yeah.
The guy's an asshole. He comes across in that documentary as an asshole, and this is the reason why he tried to sue them for $58 million to block it from coming out.
Right.
Which the judge threw out, and they come out anyway.
Yeah.
He comes across as a douchebag in this documentary.
Okay, but we're not talking about him as a person. We're talking about him as an artist, right? Like,
yeah, we are talking about him as an artist. So getting to that is his... So surrounding this record in particular, I watched interviews and documentaries. There was a documentary on Amazon Prime, which was like, wow, great. So the interviewers are all like stroking that ego.
Right.
Because it's Lil Wayne and interviewers are going to do that.
They don't want to get kicked out of the...
They don't want to get kicked out in an interview like that happened to that one guy.
Yeah.
So these guys are all just like, so tell me about this guitar playing. Tell me about all this song. It's just like, oh, yo, man, that's just another part of my game. I mean, everybody's going to be nervous now because I got another part of my game. I'm a guitar player.
Yeah.
You're a guitar player.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne is full of shit.
Yeah.
So he's a fake. He's a fraud.
No,
but as far as that is concerned, I'm coming from a rock guy going, okay, so this guy's full of shit. But he's not saying like, I'm just taking the piss. This is all a gag.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen the YouTube videos of him trying to play the guitar and putting his hand up and all the people going crazy. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. That's not real. Now, if Lil Wayne was like, this isn't real, I'm just playing around, then okay. But he's always defending it and saying like, I've got everything. In that documentary, there's footage of him playing the bass, playing the drums, playing the guitar, and it's awful.
Yeah.
It's terrible. He doesn't know how to play any of it.
Okay.
But he's fronting like he can.
He's fronting a lot, yes. So here's the thing.
Okay.
What I appreciated from that document, the Carter documentary, so that he finishes the Carter, it's being released, and you see him in the studio starting to record Rebirth.
Yep.
And you see him playing around with instruments and stuff. So what I liked was, and maybe this is just him like lip service or whatever, but he kind of says like, if you're going to be a great, you have to do more than just rap. I thought that was interesting that he said that. I don't agree with that. No, but it's interesting that he started to think like that.
Yeah.
So he was saying like...
What else can I do?
Yeah, what else can I do? And he was saying, it doesn't have to be the best singing, but I'm going to write the best songs. And I thought, oh, that's a good perspective. Yeah. And like the idea of like challenging everybody to like step their game up and everything. The problem is at one point he kind of says like, you see how I mastered, rapping and like how I just throw my whole being into it. Sure. I'm going to do this with this too now. And it's like, no, you're not. You didn't. Yeah. And you're not going to continue to. So don't say it. Like he didn't have to go there. But here's the thing you got to remember about Lil Wayne. This man lives in a complete bubble.
Oh, yeah.
A complete bubble. I don't know if you saw any of the interviews where they ask him about Black Lives Matter. And he's like, had never heard of it, where they ask him about anything that's going on topically in the world. Yeah. He has no clue. Like this man has grown up in a bubble. Yeah. Like,
did you ever see that movie Pop Star? Never Stopping? That Andy Samberg thing? There's that one scene where he throws the basketball behind his head. Doesn't even come close to the net. And everybody's like, yeah. Yeah. That's what Lil Wayne is surrounded by.
Exactly.
He's surrounded by yes men. Mm-hmm. And so
here's the thing though. I feel like, because when he was a little kid, he was looking up to guys like BG and Juvenile and stuff. Yeah. And he was like, I want to rap. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like from a young age, he realized like, I got to really work at this so I could be on their level.
Right.
And he did that. And it was so interesting going through the whole catalog because you start off like he's 14, 15, and he's on some huge hits. And the people that we have looked at thus far, a lot of them have started off with like success early. So like Van Halen 1 was a big record. And, you know what I mean? And then they had to try to kind of navigate
His first solo album was huge.
Their career from there. But like for him, he came off of like the Hot Boys and stuff, which had, you know, big hits. But then his solo stuff was just like, right? Like the
first one did really well.
Did it do well?
Yeah. The first one did really well, and then
what
it
was
went
on
down
that?
until the Carter came out.
Because the first one was the Carter. I'm talking about his first solo.
Yeah.
Was the Carter, and then Carter 2? No. I thought that's how it went.
No.
Okay. Because he did the Carter series, and then he did the one with Birdman, the whatever, like Father Like Son or whatever.
Yeah. My leather's so soft. So The Block is Hot is his first.
But The Block is Hot. Wasn't that
and
Hot
Lights
Boys?
Lights Out, 500 Degrees.
Oh,
and
500
then The
Degrees.
Carter. So The Carter is his fourth solo
I
album.
remember. Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, go ahead.
So what I found was interesting was it wasn't until the Carter 2 where I started to hear glimpses
Same.
of like the Lil
Maturity.
Wayne we know. And I was like,
yeah.
like here we go.
I had that same experience.
So it was kind of interesting to hear that. And again,
I felt like it just never quite. I felt the same thing going from those early records, and then by the time the Carter 2 came out, I was like, okay,
yeah,
because I'm not enjoying this little gangster rap crap with the pussies and the bling bling and stuff.
Right.
I was just like, oh my gosh.
I mean,
I'm also not 15, so I'm not relating to this at all.
But that never really goes away.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It never goes away. And by the time I'm Not a Human Being Part 2 comes out, he's in full force with that crap. And that's after Prison and after the Carter 3 and after Rebirth.
Yeah.
And that album is hilarious to listen to because of how bad it is. And how, I mean, even the reviews for it were like, this guy needs to start talking about something else because it's just getting old, man.
Yeah. But I'm talking about just maybe not even with songwriting, even though he does have some great. So off of the Carter 3, there's that Dr. Carter song where the concept, it was so well done.
Yeah.
So he has moments where he can craft a good, you know, song. But we're talking like when I listen to Lil Wayne, it's bars and it's the mixtapes because that's where he seemed the freest. Nobody was really expecting anything of him, and he was just like, "I'm gonna go crazy right now." That was just such an interesting thing to like live through and see this guy who, let's face it, most people were just like, "He's done." Like, I don't think anybody was just like, "Oh, Lil Wayne, he's." Right? Like, even when he did that song, Stunting Like My Daddy, like, I thought that was like, I didn't mind the song, but I was just like, this is kind of lame. Like, I wasn't expecting him to become million selling in 1 week level artist and to be like, and then to put Drake on, put Nicki on, like, that's a big deal. Like, he's a legend. Like, as much as you might not care for, you know, his output, the man's a legend. And when you listen to those mixtapes, you hear a level of lyricism that was lacking at the time that he really brought, you know, stepped that game up.
Yeah.
So I think, and then, the legacy of, you know, the mumble rap legacy and stuff like that's not necessarily something to brag about, but it's real, right? You've got, he's with Kanye and Kid Cudi and stuff, he's maybe that last link between those guys and a Travis Scott or a Tyga or whoever, like Travis Scott being the biggest.
Sure.
But that whole kind of genre, who's the guy I'm thinking, Young Thug and stuff like that. So, I mean, super important to the genre, like super influential.
Yeah.
I don't know what his plans are for the future. I don't know like where he sees himself. Like that last single I heard was the one with the Swizzy beat, which it was a good tune. So I don't know. I don't know where he's planning on going, where he's planning on taking his career and stuff. But I think he's in Michael Jackson level bubbles. And nothing good comes out of that.
Yeah.
Like once you get to that point, like Prince level bubbles. Sure. Like, you know, those guys, their output just went lower and lower once
Yeah.
they got further and further into their Howard Hughesness.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like he's kind of becoming that.
Yeah, I understand. And I mean, there was just so many moments in the documentary. It was like, this guy's a joke to me. Watching it, my impression of him, and one of the ones was him like just coming up with in the vocal booth and stuff, and just being like, he's not even doing anything.
Yeah.
Gosh, when I watched like the Black album,
Yeah.
and Jay-Z's in the vocal booth, I'm like, I'm a rock guy, and I'm like, holy crap.
So why? What is it about?
So Lil Wayne, he's a joke to me. There's something about and he's high.
So it's
and
just his demeanor,
It's
like-
his demeanor. It's he's a little kid to me. I'm not even that much
Still,
older
eh?
than
Yeah,
him.
that's what I was gonna say.
that's what
We're
I'm
the
saying, is
same
that
age as him.
He's just never grown up.
Yeah.
and it's reflected in his albums. The Carter 5 does have moments where I'm thinking, okay, so there's hope for this guy if he keeps going in that direction. So the man goes to prison.
Yeah.
Rikers.
Yeah.
Not general pop, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Puts out I'm Not a Human Being from prison.
Yeah.
And this album is just littered with bullshit lyrics, man. Like, you had an opportunity to really say something real, man, and he didn't. And maybe he didn't say anything real is because he can't. He didn't grow up on the streets. He was taken under somebody's wing when he was 9 years old to keep him from being on the streets. That's
Right.
what Birdman said. He's like,
Right.
that's what we did. Like, we kept him in the studios,
Yeah.
which completely explains his work ethic, which is awesome.
Yeah.
The documentary is him, whether it's a hotel room, whatever, he's always on the tour bus. He's always got the mic set up.
It's amazing.
There's that great scene where they hear about the Carter 3 going $1 million, and they all charge on the bus, and he's in the middle of tracking.
Yeah.
This is big news, and he's like, I don't care. He's got like football on in the background or
Yeah.
basketball or whatever, and he's tracking. Like, he's always working, but it seems to be more about quantity to me than quality. That's my opinion.
That's
Another
interesting.
thing is he didn't come across as the most intelligent guy in this documentary. One reason for this is that scene with the journalist. When he's sitting there and the journalist is saying, so you're from New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans is known for, jazz music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not into jazz. No. I get that you're not into jazz. But what I'm saying is when you're writing and when you're in the vocal booth, do you improv?
Yeah.
Or do you write your stuff down? Because jazz artists go in there and say, okay, we're going to change stuff, and you sort of improv on the fly. This guy is not understanding this guy's question
But
to
here's
the
the thing.
point where he says, I'm done with this interview. Jazz, what you talking about? It's like,
Right,
no.
right.
I wasn't asking you if you liked jazz. What I was saying was that do you apply that kind of ethic to the way you spit in the studio? Do you make it up as you go like jazz artists do?
Right.
And he didn't understand it. So he's like, no, get out of here. Picks up his phone. This interview's over. I felt horrible for that guy who was doing the interview because
Yeah.
he was literally just saying New Orleans, known for jazz. So
Yes.
improv, yeah? And Buddy's like, I don't listen to the jazz. I'm like, no, I know that. But you're not listening to the question. So I
Yeah.
sat there watching this going, so he's just... Maybe he's so into his whole bubble that he's not even hearing the questions coming at him. He's sitting there with his white cup, and he's so out of it all the time that he's not even paying attention. No answers were like, okay, that's a good answer. Everything was stupid, man.
Okay, now here's the thing.
Okay.
You are a student of the game. We've watched countless documentaries and behind the scenes stuff. We've seen artists.
Well-spoken interviews.
But we've seen artists on promo tours.
Sure.
You watch Meeting People is Easy, Radiohead's OK Computer tour, and you get the feeling of just how hard it is for these guys to go through a press tour, a press run, and getting the same. Like how many times?
Same questions
How many
over and
times
over
did he
again,
have to
yeah.
answer the "you shot yourself" question? Like, you know
There's
what I
at
mean?
least 2 times when he had to answer in the documentary.
Right.
Yeah.
And so imagine how many other times he was asked it. So
Yeah.
we've seen plenty of rock stars getting annoyed with
Sure.
journalists.
Yeah. Movie stars too.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
And so I don't think that is an indictment on their intelligence. I
No.
think they just get really annoyed. So I think in
My
that
comment
sense,
was he wasn't asking about getting shot. He was asking about New Orleans, the home of jazz.
right.
And this
but I'm
guy's like,
saying,
I don't listen to jazz.
I know. But I'm saying he's in a bad mood to start. You can tell he's in a bad mood to start. And, and he's just not connecting with this guy. Like, it's not, I got the feeling that it's not so much about the line of questioning or even the guy.
He didn't
It's-
even allow the guy to clarify.
Exactly. He was just in a bad mood.
Okay.
I think you can't be an idiot and write the way he writes.
I don't know how many songs
Yeah.
open with him with
Yeah.
the lighter and
Yep.
sparking up a joint, but it's a lot.
Yes.
On most of his albums, it's opening with
And
that,
it's usually
with that
like
lighter thing.
and it's a
Is it funny? Is
No.
he just taking the piss, or is he really like?
no, I think
I'm like, you have to do that for the beginning of every song. That's why I did it for the beginning of every YouTube
yeah,
comment,
yeah.
because it's like,
I think there's a-
give me a break, guy.
think he smokes
We
a
get
lot.
it. You smoke pot.
He smokes
we
a
get
lot.
it. Okay, we get it.
yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah. I don't know.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I think that's how this is
I
gonna
think he's an
end.
intelligent dude. I think
Yeah, I don't hear intelligence when I listen to his music. I hear little kid stuff. The first time I ever got a blowjob, it's like, hi, like really? And I mean, by the time you're into after the Carter 3 and Rebirth and Prison and Human Being, you should be writing some more grown up stuff by then,
Yeah.
right?
I think that's the bubble effect though. I think he's not I don't know. I think
Bubble effect. How do you explain? Bah! That's not the bubble effect. That's just a little kid who hasn't grown up.
I don't
There's
know.
nobody
How do you-
experiences touring the world. the
How
things-
do you defend scoop diddy boop? Boop diddy scoop. Like, right?
I'm not defending that,
But
and
I'm
I
saying
wouldn't.
it
That's
happens.
Kanye going crazy.
Yeah, like it happens. Like they're just all the way into their own worlds that, every once in a while a little poop diddy scoop.
In the
slips
context,
out.
there's a lot though on every album.
Oh, yeah.
And Kanye's put out some absolute amazing material. In the context of Lil Wayne's discography,
Yeah.
there's maybe some things I didn't mind. But in the context of comparing him to somebody like Nas, Jay-Z, Kanye, Mos Def,
No.
it's just, dude, I'm sorry. But man, maybe the problem is we did the Nas episode first.
Yeah, we should
and I
have
got
done that.
spoiled.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to Lil Wayne going, I can't take this guy seriously.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And it never happened. And watching that documentary just cemented how I felt about him.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm not a Lil Wayne fan. I wouldn't even recommend an album from him. I'm going to say go listen to The Blueprint. If you want to hear good hip hop, rock and roll guys, Team Mikey's,
That's amazing.
if you want to hear good hip hop, don't listen to Lil Wayne because he's a joke.
Wow.
Boom.
That is not an official check the credits.
It's an official Mikey from Check the Credits opinion. And it's an opinion. And we're talking about subjective material. Have you
Absolutely.
ever seen New Jack City?
Of course.
So you know where the Carter comes from?
What do you mean where
Okay,
the Carter comes
so-
from? It's been a long time.
So
but- Yeah.
Graham Court is this historic apartment building in Harlem.
Okay.
So in the film New Jack City, it's known as the Carter, which is
right.
the Empire Crack House in the movie as well. And it's obviously Wayne's last
I
name, but that's where
totally
the Carter is.
Yeah.
It's called the Carter.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just remember Pookie.
Food for-
Chris Rock. Chris Rock. That was his best. Here's the thing. Chris Rock, I don't know where you stand on him as an actor.
Chris Rock, I like whatever. So
Really? Even his acting?
No, his movies can be ass, but I
Yes.
always like him in the shitty
What
movie.
I always thought was interesting is his best performance of all
Lethal
time.
Weapon 4.
It's Pookie. It's Pookie in New Jack City. He did
Yeah.
a phenomenal job.
Must be a kid too, huh?
He was pretty young,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
did a great job in that.
Oh,
But yeah, that's interesting that you say that.
no worries, no worries.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So this is going back to the sort of rock guy, position that you hold in our classic duo here.
Yeah. It's just where I come from, though.
Yeah, fair enough. I come
Nobody
from that.
nominated me that.
I come from that too. To
Yeah,
a certain extent. Do you take offense to this? Because think about any time a rock guy is like, I'm going to put out a rap album. And
Does that happen a lot?
No.
Okay.
Thankfully. But so it kind of happened back in the day, whether it's Debbie Harry doing that Rapture verse.
Sure.
I mean, that probably doesn't count because it was so early. Nobody knew what was happening.
Okay.
But I don't know, like if
What about Chris Cornell doing Scream?
he doesn't try to rap though on that, right?
That's true.
So if he did,
Okay.
right? Here's a guy who is a phenomenal singer,
Yeah.
great songwriter,
One of the greatest, yeah.
and then just decides one day he's going to just start rapping. Everybody would be like, "Guy, you're being disrespectful," right? Like
Yeah,
to
you
the
think so?
craft, to the craft. Like
But isn't his mentality, I want to honor, like I really like hip hop now and I want to try my hand at it?
maybe,
Right.
but do you say, okay, but you're going to have to put the kind of work into it that you've put into your voice, your singing.
1,000%.
Right. So the fact that obviously Lil Wayne did none of
No,
the
he did
sort.
not.
Now it's not as bad because he's still writing songs.
Okay.
He still sings a bit.
Now, with all the people that are like, when you look under the songwriting credits for each track,
Yeah.
there's like a bunch of people there. Is Lil Wayne responsible for every word, or do people help him out with his lyrics sometimes? Maybe even something like this.
I think if
would
it's-
Rudolph help out with lyrics on the
so
chorus?
I
Maybe.
think, if he's
okay.
rapping, no. Right, but if it's a hook or something, for sure. Like I think like Lollipop with Static Major, who I
Right, right.
totally didn't
Static Major.
realize. Yeah,
Yeah.
So I think that dude probably wrote that chorus.
Rest
there-
in peace.
He
Static
put
Major.
in.
I didn't know he was gone.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, he's gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was that song on, I can't remember which album. It's maybe Not a Human Being, but the whole song's an acoustic song. How to Love.
Okay.
And it's the whole thing. It's just like an acoustic guitar, and he sings the whole thing. That's a good tune.
Is that not the newest one? The Carter
No,
Five?
that was from a bunch of years ago. Okay. But I remember hearing that song, and I remember feeling like, wow, Lil Wayne can do whatever he wants. Because I hadn't heard Rebirth. And I was like, man,
Okay.
this guy, like, even just like singing with an acoustic guitar can do whatever he wants. Like, and it'll come off well.
Right.
But then, so I read about that song, and that song came from, I can't remember the man who wrote it with him, but he essentially had that song, and Lil Wayne said that he just changed a few words here and there.
Got it.
So that's a good example of like, if it's going to be a song he's going to sing, he's probably not coming up with all of it.
Okay.
Maybe not all the melodies as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's going to be that kind of more of a band
Right.
collaboration.
So how do you
thing
feel, like
happening.
as a guitar player? How do you feel about him playing the guitar so much, or at least holding it in a lot of the promo videos surrounding this track? But even on the My Leather So Soft, he plays that solo at the end. Did you hear it?
No.
Like it's really bad.
Yeah.
It's all fretting out and it's really poorly executed, but they left it in.
Yeah.
So is that just like, we can't say no to Lil Wayne? You can't say no to the guy.
I mean,
you can't be like,
Yeah.
if you don't know how to play the guitar, it looks like he can't even fake it well enough to fake it.
Yeah.
So
And
as a guitar player, you're like, take the guitar off.
Right.
It's too late. What's done is done. But how did you feel about
So
all
I
that?
think that's being in the bubble. And
What about
yeah,
the credit everybody's giving him though?
Surrounded by
They're
yes
not in the
men.
bubble.
Yeah, no, but they don't want
They don't wanna get kicked out of
They
the
don't want to
interview?
jeopardize the bag. Like they need this interview.
Right.
They need this cover. They
Right.
need the job.
Yeah.
So I get that.
That's just another part of my game, he says. So
What's sad about that-
does he believe he's playing the guitar well?
And maybe that comes down to I don't think he actually listens to guitar
To rock music. Okay.
So he's got no basis, I think.
Right.
I think that could be it.
He's constantly talking about how Nirvana, my boy Kurt, and all that. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I
all
remember
bullshit, or-
there was a certain point where it became cool to like name drop Nirvana.
Got it.
I remember that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was like I remember like early Kanye when he was talking about how he had stopped doing a lot of production for people, and
Hmm.
people were getting mad at him. Like he'd come out with like a hit, and they'd be like, "Oh man, why don't you give me that beat?"
yeah.
and he was
You're
like,
not a rapper?
Because
You're a
he's like-
producer. Yeah,
he's
yeah.
Like, why? Like, who's going to Kurt Cobain saying like, "Why didn't you give me that song?"
Right.
It's like obviously not. It's his song.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So like, I remember when that started happening more and more. Before that, it used to be U2, and I always used to get a kick out of that
Hmm.
because as rock people got bigger and bigger,
Right.
and rock fans started to distance themselves from them, hip hop people would start to
Embrace them.
relate, whether it's U2 or Coldplay or Nirvana, because they don't really listen to that music, but they're recognizing that they're at the top of the charts
Okay.
and they respect that.
Okay.
And I gather that's how that's happening or why that's happening. But I don't think there's a lot of Lil Wayne listening to guitar music and saying like, yeah, I'm pretty far from actually playing this instrument.
Okay.
Now I did hear an interview with him where he said he started playing the guitar just so he could sing a song for a lady. He wanted to be able to sit there and play a song for a lady and sing it to her. And he was like, I don't care about anything else.
Sure.
I don't know if he's gotten there,
I don't think so.
but
Any footage that I've seen of him is doing like the thumb thing and the one finger thing. Like at least learn like during the making of Rebirth.
Yeah.
If you're gonna shoot promo videos, at least learn like a chord. just the positioning. You don't have to play it.
Yeah.
But at least learn the positioning so that it looks like you're playing an E major.
Yeah, and I think that's how far.
And he didn't do anything.
That's how far gone he is
Yeah.
at that point. That he's not even thinking of that. He's thinking, "Oh, I'm touching this thing. I must be
But
producing
all
gold
these
from
people
it."
surrounding him aren't saying.
Yeah,
They're not saying anything. Okay.
Can't jeopardize the bag.
Yeah, fair enough, man.
Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, so
So for you, mixtapes recommendations.
Yes.
For me, if you want to get into hip hop, I don't recommend starting with Lil Wayne.
fair enough. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
A couple of
But can I say that makes me so happy that you went down the rabbit hole you went down. How did that start anyway?
I think I was going down a Most Def Black Star Talib Kweli
Why?
thing. I don't know.
How did that start?
I don't know.
Where's the
I don't know.
like
It was
6 degrees of separation there?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon. Most like Kevin Bacon was listening to Black Star. And no, I think most likely it was probably something that you just said in conversation that made me go, I think I want to look that up.
Okay.
And I just went, uh-oh.
It makes me so happy.
And so
You
I
don't
went
know.
down the Dilla thing,
Yeah.
and I was just like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard. So that hurt me.
And that's
reviewing
going
Lil
to,
Wayne.
that's not fair.
That hurt me listening to Lil Wayne as well.
Yeah.
Because then, so I went from like The Shining or Donuts, and then I went to Rebirth.
So that's not right.
I went,
That's
oh
not
my
right.
gosh, right? So
Yeah, that's not right.
You say Lil Wayne's a legend. No, Dilla's a legend.
Dilla
Lil
is a
Wayne,
legend.
no, not so much. Regardless.
So what you're getting into, Mikey, is
Yeah,
you're now getting, you're falling firmly into that boom bap, that hip hop head space, that, where that's hip hop.
Right.
And I love that.
Yeah. And as a songwriter, anybody that's listening to this who writes songs, I would recommend going down that lane.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne's not going to help you as a songwriter. He's just not. He doesn't say anything.
But it's the way
So,
he says nothing.
Sure. And that can be entertaining.
Right,
It can be
right.
fun. There was
Like-
definitely songs where out loud I laughed. Wowzers.
Yes.
From like I'm Not a Human Being Part 2. Like, dude, I was in my truck dying because he was saying, my tongue is a Uzi. My dick is an AK. My tongue go, brrr. My dick go bop. My tongue go, brrr. I was crying. I was like, this is hilarious. And then Trina had a verse in there, which was even more perverse and
Right.
pornographic. And I'm just like,
she would.
I can't, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. So I can't take it seriously. Now, if you're going to tell me Lil Wayne's just taking the piss and even he doesn't take himself seriously, I would say, okay. But the footage,
I think he's taking a piss with that.
the footage for that song.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if all the footage I seen of him is like, I'm the illest rapper there is.
Sure.
And it's like,
Best
no,
rapper alive.
you're not.
Yeah.
Of course not. In a world where Jay-Z exists
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Kanye exists and Mos Def exists, you got no right saying that. But that's hip hop.
Yeah.
They all say that.
Yeah.
They all say they're the greatest.
Sure.
On the same verse with the other guys that you're in competition with.
Love it.
The first thing that I heard from Lil Wayne that made me really sit up and go, I like this,
Okay.
was from the Carter 4
Okay.
outro, Nas's verse. And I went, I know this guy.
Why? Can
It
I
was so
ask
good.
you?
I'm like, this is a great verse.
The
Oh,
thing-
it's Nas.
Yeah, the thing that killed me about that, if you get a Nas
On
verse,
outro.
you gonna put him with like 4
I
other
know.
dudes. Now the other dudes were legends as well. Who else is
Busta's on there.
Who?
I think Busta Rhymes is on there.
Busta is on
Yeah.
there. So it's other legends.
It's loaded. Yeah,
but
yeah.
do you do that? Like I'd be pretty psyched to get a Nas verse.
He was still the one that stood out for me.
Yeah.
Gosh.
He was.
Yeah. So anyway, any closing thoughts? I have a couple of clothing, like for the listeners. On September 27th, 2012, Lil Wayne became the first male artist to surpass Elvis Presley with the most entries on the Billboard Hot 100 chart with 109 songs.
Is that he's featured on as well? Like it's not just his songs.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That has to be right.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like that
120 million records sold worldwide. Like the guy is a monster
Yeah.
brand.
that feature run that happened was insanity.
He was just
Like,
on everything.
He was on everything.
Yeah. I will say this, like with hip hop guys, man, they do that more like entrepreneurial sort of thing more than like the rock guys do.
Because it's not bad to make money
No,
in hip
of
hop,
course not.
whereas in rock music, it's like you sold out or whatever.
Yeah, to be famous is
To be famous or rich or whatever, it's a sellout. I
Right.
mean, Bruce did one song where he mentioned spending some money, and I jumped on him too. Like everybody, pause. But everybody was just like, "No, man, you're not allowed to say that."
So I think that's all really I have in my notes.
So
I don't mean to. I didn't come in here with the intention of doing some Lil Wayne bashing or hating on him.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of respect for him as far as his work ethic is concerned, as putting out material as often as he does. All the mixtape run, setting up the Carter 3 to do what it did with that mixtape run, the entrepreneurship. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for all that. And the Rebirth album takes a lot of balls to do something like that. At the same time, it's like, take that extra year to make sure it really is good. Because there were so many delays because he wanted the album to be perfect.
Yeah.
So if that's his version of perfect, we got a problem.
Yeah.
And maybe he hasn't put out a rock album since because in retrospect, it's like...
No, but I heard interviews with him where he's talking about it, like, because he took the fact that he charted on that album to be that he killed it.
To me, that's just the brand.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
Like Madonna's
of
Hard
course.
Candy
Yes,
did well
of
because...
course. But in his mind, in his bubble
In his
world,
bubble, yeah.
he was
I
like,
understand.
he thought he threw the gauntlet down for
understand.
every other rapper. And
Okay.
he was like, yeah, see if you can do what I did with rock music.
Fair
like
enough.
he sees it as like a grand accomplishment.
Okay.
Which is sad.
Okay.
But yeah, it shows it. I'm bummed that you didn't come out a fan.
I did not.
But I'm super happy that you got way more like into hip hop somehow from it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't expect that.
It certainly didn't. There wasn't like you say 6 degrees of separation to Lil Wayne.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe there was. I don't know. Could it be the Nas connection too? Because there's a Dilla thing with Nas too. What was that track I sent you? What was that song called again? God, it was so good. Can't even remember the name of it.
Oh yeah, I can't remember it now either.
But that was the beginnings of my like, okay,
Okay.
I can't turn back now. And the whole like, I drive a lot for work, and I'm listening to Dilla all day, and I'm
That
like,
is so
ugh.
beautiful.
So it's kind of hard for me.
love
But
that.
any closing thoughts? I wanted to introduce sort of a new, quick little segment that we could do of what you're currently listening to, and let the listeners know this is what I'm listening to. So we've spent, other than Lil Wayne, I know I needed to take breaks, and it couldn't be just Lil Wayne all the time. So is there something else that you can recommend for the listeners other than
That's so
Lil
funny.
Wayne?
I love this idea. Give me yours and I'll think about what
Okay,
mine
so
are.
for me, recently, a band called Alter Bridge put out a brand new record called Walk the Sky. It's their 6th album, and to me, it's a masterpiece. And I got to see Alter Bridge on their Blackbird tour when they played the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan. Me and a couple of buddies
Wow.
went. And it was like an 1,100 capacity or something, just a small place.
Oh, that's right. You're telling me.
And I got to fist bump Mark
That's
Tremonti.
right. That's so
and I got to see Miles Kennedy. I've got a son named Miles. So
That's right.
I'm a big fan of this band.
Yeah.
And they have just, dude, they've outdone themselves. This album, if you're a rock guy, you like guitar work, Mark Tremonti, I know the guy's from Creed, but if you guys have ever paid attention to what he's done since then, he is one of the greatest guitar players in the industry right now. Rock, metal guitar players. He's got solo stuff that's just called Tremonti, and it's like really heavy metal stuff. And he's singing lead on it. So he destroys Scott Stapp. I don't know why he never
Really?
sang and Creed that much. He did a little bit.
What does he sound
but-
like?
I don't know. He kind of sounds like that Eddie Vedder 90s sort
Okay.
of grunge sort of vocalist, but a little bit more guts, metal and stuff. So he certainly doesn't sound anything like Miles. But anyway, Walk the Sky,
Okay.
Alter Bridge. That hasn't left my ears in between my breaks from Lil Wayne. I've been listening to Alter Bridge, so I recommend you guys checking that out.
Nice. I've just scrolling through my Spotify recently.
Yeah.
Listening to a ton of Prince. Just
Nice.
rekindling my love of Prince.
So we got an anniversary or something because his face is popping up on magazines when I'm in like the grocery store.
Oh, really?
Stuff.
I don't know.
Is
I
there
don't
an
know.
anniversary coming like a couple years maybe?
Maybe since
Robin
his-
Williams too. His
since
name,
his death?
his face is like popping up on
Maybe that's
magazines,
what it
kind of
is.
these tribute magazines to Prince. And
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
It still amazes me that he's gone.
Yeah.
I still like I forget sometimes that
Yeah,
Prince is
but it's
gone.
interesting. Both him and Michael Jackson both suffered from that kind of bubble thing.
Yeah,
You had
yeah.
Neverland, you had Paisley Park.
Nobody's saying no to you.
Nobody's saying no to you your entire life.
Yeah.
Like that's tough.
They're watching him kill himself, and nobody had the balls to
No
say.
one will say
I
it.
didn't want to get kicked off the payroll, so I
Right.
couldn't say no to him. Well, they're gone now, so good job, guy.
So listening to a lot of Prince, I revisited TV on the radio. Remember that band? I don't even know how or
Not
why.
that long ago, I listened to the TV on the radio because I wanted to listen to what's the track they did with Bowie? It's a great song.
I didn't know they did
Providence.
Truck Boy. Oh yeah,
Remember?
I love that.
That's a great
too.
song. That's Bowie on there. Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so them and a lot of Dilla. Funny
Yeah,
enough, I was listening to
yeah.
J-Lib, the thing he did with Madlib.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
I recommend Dilla, guys. J
Yeah,
Dilla.
absolutely.
A lot of stuff on Spotify. Not a lot of stuff that's been released since his passing.
Yeah, and Currency and Wiz Khalifa put out 2009.
Cool.
And I've been listening to that since it came out a few months ago,
Yeah.
and I'm still listening to it. It's
Cool.
amazing. Yep.
Awesome.
I like that. I like that idea.
Okay,
What
cool.
else we're listening to?
I thought we'd do that. I wasn't really digging how the weakest link thing was really.
Yeah, forget that.
Yeah, no. So I thought we'd do that instead.
I like
Is
it.
that cool?
Let's do it.
All right, man.
And you know what? If anybody misses the weakest link, let us know. But I like this one. And let us know what you're listening to too.
Absolutely. Obviously, let us know if there's a band or artist that you can recommend, a record from them. If you guys are on board with Rebirth as well. I mean, going through the YouTube comments, a lot of people love this record. They wish that he would put out another rock album. So maybe we'll see another Lil Wayne rock record. I don't know.
Oh man.
But I will probably skip it if it ever does happen.
Yeah,
maybe
me
out
too.
of morbid curiosity, I would see. Oh, did he learn the guitar? No, he didn't. But we have been Check the Credits.
Yes.
Please share us, like us, so that we can keep
Just
doing this.
like us.
We're having please like us.
Please like
We're
us.
having a blast. We hope you did too.
Yeah.
Until the next time.
Peace.
Bitch, I'm the bomb like tick, tick.
You have recently enjoyed a Check the Credits podcast, a program I can only assume you've enjoyed on a radio receiver that would have been at your disposal. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And I have no idea what any of that means because I'm a broadcaster guy from the 1920s. Thank you, and good night.